What happens when the perfect Christmas gift turns into a nightmare? Welcome to my review of Gremlins, the 1984 horror comedy classic directed by Joe Dante. This film is considered to have masterfully blended horror and comedy, which created a cinematic masterpiece that has captivated audiences for decades. It came out when I was a little girl. I remember the impact that it had on culture, but it was also one of those movies that gave me nightmares as a little kid. The story centers on Billy Peltzer, played by Zach Galligan, who receives a mysterious creature called a Mogwai, whose name is Gizmo, as a Christmas gift. However, the joy turns to chaos when the 3 rules: no water, no light, and you never feed it after midnight. And those rules are broken, which unleashes evil, mischievous, ugly gremlins all over the unsuspecting town of Kingston Falls. So Joe Dante was chosen to direct Gremlins because of his unique ability to blend horror with comedy. I was shocked to learn that Steven Spielberg was the producer of this film. I just never associated Steven Spielberg with Gremlins. Gremlins kind of seemed, I don't know, a little bit below Steven Spielberg in my opinion. I guess I saw Steven Spielberg as making these amazing epic films, but Gremlins was very beloved. So I was kind of curious about Steven Spielberg's hand in Gremlins. Like, what did he do? How did he affect it? So Steven Spielberg had already seen Joe Dante's work on The Howling and another movie called The Piranha. Especially with The Howling, Steven Spielberg recognized that Joe Dante had a knack for making stories that were very engaging, very entertaining, and that often contained a lot of satirical elements. So Steven Spielberg helped influence and secure Joe Dante as the director of this film. With Steven Spielberg backing Joe Dante, it helped give him the confidence and the creative license to really have his way with those gremlins and make them very whimsical, and also giving them that mischievous nature to help make it really entertaining so that it would be engaging and fun for a large audience. So a guy named Chris Columbus had originally written the script of Gremlins, and Steven Spielberg came across it and he could see that it had a lot of great potential. And so Steven Spielberg, because he was one of the producers, he had a huge creative hand in this film. So the film Gremlins was supposed to be a very dark horror film, but Steven Spielberg and Joe Dante together helped try to make this more family friendly. So I don't know how I ended up watching it. Somehow I did. I don't know if I was over at a friend's house when I was a little kid, but it gave me nightmares. So it was still very much a horror movie to my little 5-year-old head. Let's see, I was born in 1983, but I feel like it was on TV like in the late 80s. So I must have been around 4 or 5 years old. I was terrified. So how did Steven Spielberg and Joe Dante turn this into a more family-friendly movie? Well, for example, Gizmo was only supposed to be in the movie for like the first 20 minutes. He was supposed to turn into one of the evil, ugly, scary gremlins, and those gremlins weren't so funny and mischievous the way they are in the Gremlins movie. They were much more sinister and evil. They were pretty much demons kind of thing, is the way it's the way it sounds to me. So Spielberg insisted on keeping Gizmo as the hero of this film and making sure he stayed the same throughout the whole script because he wasn't supposed to. By keeping Gizmo the way he was, it made a lot more work for the production team. I guess they had to do more special effects, and also there was a lot of extensive redesign. Also, the tone of the film was supposed to be a lot darker, and the body count or people getting murdered was supposed to be a lot higher. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, horror films are not my favorite because people die in horror films, and that's a big reason why I don't like them. In fact, I don't know that there are any horror films that I can honestly say that I like. I am reviewing this movie because one of my good friends, her husband loves this movie, and whenever I go to her house, he talks about it, and it kind of made me feel like I had missed out on something in my childhood, which I had seen bits and pieces of the film, but I hadn't seen the whole thing, and he makes it sound like it was the greatest thing. So I was like, wait a minute, what did I miss? I was kind of curious. And a lot of people call this a Christmas movie. Comment below, let me know if you can consider this to be a Christmas movie. Which, you know, we go from Halloween to Christmas, so I can see this being a good November film. I don't know. But speaking of higher body count, Billy's mother was supposed to die at the hands of the Gremlins. Can you imagine Billy's mom dying at the hands of the Gremlins? It was the highlight of my life, the fact that she survived. I was so worried for this mother, and you can see the bond and the relationship that this kid has with his parents, and I just really liked that about this film. And I hated that one old lady, the grandma lady. She's not the grandma, but that snobby woman, you guys remember her? But also Steven Spielberg made it so that the evil demonic gremlins were less vicious and more entertaining. A notable scene that remained from the original script is Kate's haunting monologue, which was about her father's death while impersonating Santa Claus. Joe Dante had to fight to keep that in the film, apparently, despite studio pushback. He felt that it encapsulated the film's blend of humor and horror. So these changes helped shape this film into one of the beloved holiday family classics, if you can call it that. To me, it's just a horror film, but a lot of people feel like it's a holiday classic. And anyway, it helped shape pop culture. I don't know, comment below. Do you guys watch horror films? Let me know. So I also grew up in like a Christian household where we didn't celebrate Halloween when I was a kid. And so I did kind of feel like a rebel watching this film, but maybe because I don't get nightmares anymore as an adult. Please don't be mad at me, people, if you love this film. Like I said, one of my good friends, her husband adores this film. And so I was like, all right, let me check it out. I'll humor myself. What did I miss? Also, the film's special effects, particularly the puppetry for the time, was super high quality for back then. Like, as a kid, I just thought those things were real. I don't know where they got them from. Maybe they were some kind of exotic lizard, is what I used to think as a child. I just thought it was all real. But these were puppets, you know. The blend of animatronics and practical effects creates a tangible sense of menace and mischief that enhances the film's comedic tone. I guess before Spielberg decided to help produce this film, the budget was supposed to be way smaller, but once Spielberg got involved, he made sure that everything was high-end. Gremlins cleverly satirizes suburban life and holiday cheer, juxtaposing cutesy moments with dark humor. The film's ability to oscillate between lightheartedness and chaos is exemplified in memorable scenes like the bar mayhem and the infamous Christmas caroling sequence. I would say my favorite scenes in the movie are whenever we're with Gizmo. I felt such pain and agony when the water spilled on him. His screams, why did they allow those screams in the movie? Those screams do still haunt me though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very upset about it too. I'm angry. Why? And I'm so glad Gizmo got taken away in the end. I feel like they just didn't deserve to have him. They didn't know how to take care of him. I'm still frustrated about that. It's very frustrating. And the pain of those little balls coming out of his back. I'm still upset about it. Somebody fix it. Why did nobody fix it? Why was that one science teacher so mean to the little gremlin thing? I'm still angry about it. I'm still like rocking back and forth. There was the school situation. I'm just upset about it. I'm very upset. I have to say though that boy in the film, the teenage kid, he was very brave. He was very brave to go and take on all those gremlins and kill them all. And he did the right thing. Those gremlins didn't deserve to live. They weren't supposed to be there in the first place. They were gonna infest the world. I'm really glad they took care of them. I'm still rocking back and forth because of the distress of it all. And the actress Phoebe Cates is super beautiful in that film, by the way. She's super cute. I liked her. I think that the main kid, he did a good job liking her. Good job. I hope they got married. I didn't get to see that part of the film, but after everything they went through with the Gremlins, I don't doubt that they got married. Who else are they going to share that history with? There's nobody. You'll never find anybody who you share that with. I don't know what to say. So due to the film's blend of violence and humor, it is because of Gremlins that we now today have the PG-13 rating for movies. Cinematic history. Where did the PG-13 rating come from? Gremlins, 1984. That's how we got it, y'all. The Gremlins legacy continues today with sequels and merchandise, and now an animated series is in development, is my understanding. I don't know anything about it. I just heard about it. You can Google that. This film has some super cute characters like Gizmo in it. I like some of the people in it. I love the mom in this film. I like the dad. I think he needs to work on his inventions, but I'm really glad they solved the problem of the Gremlins, and it was a happy ending, I think. I hope. I'm not going to see the sequels. I don't want them to pop up again. I don't want more problems. We just solved the problem in movie number 1. I don't need to know about movie number 2. So let me know if you saw any of the sequels and if you liked them or not. I think I'm good with just part 1. I'm sure this film will be enjoyed for generations to come because parents who love this film are going to share it with their kids and their grandchildren, and it'll continue to live on. So if you're in the mood for some crazy chaos and you're not afraid of things, go ahead and grab some popcorn, maybe a mogwai, and enjoy the mayhem, I suppose. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye.